and we are talking about generational gaps, problems between elderly workers and younger workers. So I think your position is very interesting for us. So can you tell me about your trade union, not only your youth organization, but your whole trade union? How is the generational structure there?
So I would say that there are only a few people in power right now who are below 50. All of the managing board is above or around 60 years old, which is always kind of a struggle because of the I would say it's harder to communicate, it's harder to get things done our way. And I'm assuming that I was thinking that this is only a Bulgarian thing, but when I started meeting people from all around Europe, I saw that this is like a trade union issue within every country, basically. So you have the youth network, you obviously have young workers in sectors like mining, like transport, like teachers, but the managing of those sectors or the managing of the structures is always handled by a person who is a bit elderly. And I also think that has to do especially with the trade union, with our history, because our trade union was established in 91, just after the communist regime fell. So a lot of the people who are involved with the establishing of the trade union have been in managing positions for 20, 30 years, something like this.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So at ETA seminars, you said you recognize that it's also a problem in other countries. What would you say is the biggest problem with this generational gap? You mentioned that there are a lot of people older than 60 or older than 50 years old, but what is really the main problem to have like only these elderly people in the managing positions?
I think that, as I told you, the communication is a bit more difficult. I wouldn't say that it's impossible, but it definitely is more difficult than if I would, I myself am 30 years old. If I had to work with people my age or a bit older than me, it would have been way easier than working with the people who are right before retirement. They're used to handling things in a different way. They're used to communicating in a different way. Even with new technologies, I think it's a bit more a bit of a struggle for some of them. But yeah, as I can tell you, as I already told you, I think that this is like they had, I don't know who, but they had a joke that trade unions are pale, male, and old. So I think this is like a sort of a stereotype about the trade unions, and it is really, really the truth about the situation. When it comes to the EZA seminars, I think that a lot of the people I have seen in managing positions are also around this age.
We have to deal the same values. Values are always very important. And because all of us are Christians and doesn't matter even other religions, we should have the same values, first of all. Second, it does not matter even if we are not very familiar with the AI and with the whole thing which is going on in digitalization process. It is always important to have colleagues who are more familiar with it, and then we can help each other. And very important is to feel that there is no gap, to have mutual respect and trust. We have to trust each other, to respect each other, and to be patient, and to be very cooperative and to make networks. It's very important to make a bridge. We can do a lot by our personal engagement. We don't have to wait for someone or for something to do it instead of us. We should believe in it. We should believe that the bridge must be very hard and must exist always, and to do our best. I don't know if you are informed that BOFOS, where I'm the president, I'm one of the members. We made almost the same theme for our seminar, which will be held in June in Serbia, and all of you are invited to participate in the seminar as well in the Bofosiada, which is a great event where 300 and 550 people, mostly young but also older, will participate. So the team that you applicated to EZA is almost the same as we said. Younger and older people are two sides of the same coin.
So about the questions for the generation gap, which is what we talked about in our seminar the last few days, what do you think did respect and being listened to change throughout your career at EZA, also throughout your career and your job?
So I will be a bit general first, as I think that all of us can see, sometimes there are a lot of beautiful intentions. The difficulty is to put them in practice, because we get used to some habits, to some ways of working, and then and even when we want to bring new people or change something, it takes time. So, for example, I will give you practical examples. In my organization, for example, we are still trying to develop a database. So I think it's always, for example, starting with a good database. So keep the contact with people, because if you see, if you get in touch with some young person that would be interested, if you don't put the contacts all in the same place, then when the next event where you wanted to join both generations, they will not be invited. So first of all, we always have that problem, and I think that sometimes in EZA can happen the same, because the invitation go to the the general secretary or something, the human resources administrative, and then they share the invitations, and we lose people in that context. Also, the way to spread the information. We know that in EZA usually it's more internal, and now it's great to see that the website it's more active with a lot of information about the next conferences, articles about what EZA is doing. That is a great step. So I would say that in Fidesz and EZA it's the same. It's important to share more what we are doing, to people know and know how to contact us and to be part. Because in Fidesz we are always struggling to find people, because the information don't go straight. So in the end, each member is trying to, let's find somebody that is interested and that can come, and that is not how to say integrated. So if people are ready, if we have a culture of transparency, of giving the information in a simple way and accessible way, people will be proactive, saying, I want to do this, I want to participate in that. If they don't know what is happening, it's difficult to have young people participating more.
How do you motivate young people to join EZA projects? your company would do in general for motivating them?
Our organizations do that, I would say. So we work with a network of about 70 member organizations, and some of these organize projects with young people. So they will be directly in touch. We at EZA don't. And I think they motivate young people to join by trying to well, explain them that it's a huge opportunity to know other people from all across Europe who have the same maybe concerns at them, and they can share these concerns and live some great moments together, and try to maybe to get a clearer idea of some big challenges that we are all facing today, and that in particular young people in the EU are facing. So that's a huge opportunity. And I think that's a good argument to try to motivate them.
Yeah, completely right. I agree with you. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and the next question: how do you feel? Do you feel that you understand, really understand the real needs of young people, younger generation?
I'm afraid I don't. So I'm in my 40s, and yeah, when I can talk with young people, of course, but I know that I didn't experience the same things. I don't always understand what they do, how they live. So of course we can communicate, but I think there is a huge gap between us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always happy to communicate with them, of course, but still I feel I feel there is a gap. Okay, what it is first? I think it's the result of the fact that we are living in a completely different world as or they are living in a completely different world as we did 20 years ago or 30. Yeah. And they maybe they see this world from a completely different perspective. I know it's everyone talks about this, so it sounds a little superficial to talk about social media, but I think we have to talk about this because I have the impression that this is really the way they see the world, or at least one of the main channels to experience things, which we didn't have 20 years ago. So we and now we adults we see that they use that. We can try to use it these tools as well, but still we have, I think, a different perception of the world, and I don't know if it's really a problem.